Alrighty, good morning. You guys hear me? Mute this.
Gold Ice 151 cell.
Yeah, cool. So I actually remembered to do this today, so let's please read the disclaimer. Basically says trading is hard. Don't be a moron. Don't make stupid mistakes. Follow your rules. And it says some other stuff too, so read that. All right. All right, so I reluctantly took this short. I mean, it is a setup, but I hate shorting right before the open because it seems to pop every single time. And I only did have size because the zone is so large. We've talked about this. You guys have that position sizing chart or that Excel sheet. If you don't have it, let me know. But it helps you position based on your account size and how much you want to lose. I shouldn't say want to lose, but how much you should lose on a trade according to your account size. So for this trade here, you see this big, huge ice here. This was 800 overnight, which is a lot, right? You see that where it started basically here, came all the way down to here. So this is, we're talking 10 plus points. So I can't put on a full position, right? This is what we talked about. So this other zone was overnight. I actually got short on my other account overnight and I got stopped out. I always love getting, and I also got stopped at the NASDAQ to the tick yesterday right at the close. I was short on my other account, small. It popped up to 95 or something and I got stopped literally to the tick and I didn't put it back on and now we're down 130 points. But anyway, I got short on this zone here last night. It wasn't a ton, but you can see the 500 there. I mean, that is a lot for overnight. So we moved down here, came back in here. Let me get my little chart because it's kind of confusing with this zone, other zone in here. That was this zone here. We moved down, we came in, we retested, and as it broke out, I shorted it. I put my stop up here, and I got stopped out. And it actually went much higher, so at least it wasn't to the tick. But I was anticipating this, and this is just starting. So, in my opinion, we'll go over all that. But anyway, same pattern here. Here's the zone. Whoops, that's pretty thick. That, down, retest, started to fail. I got short there. Stops way up here. So again, I don't like shorting right before the open, but I don't want to miss the initial move down. We remember how much ice was in this area. These guys now, again, that was last week. So, guys could have got out of stuff, but this is a very, very important area across the board, market profile, structure, and then also what we know happened in this area. So there should be some nice puking today. So here's market profile. This was yesterday. Try to get back in here, but we closed right in the edge, and then overnight we're down in here, and now we're in this guy. All right. So it could do one of these, pop up to here. The tendency again for markets when they accept into prior value areas, composite value areas, are to trade to the other side, and that's down near 4140. And you can see we're breaking down on all the TAS boxes, mini market profiles. We actually just drew a new one here, but we broke down from here, here. You see all this volume in this market map. We're below that. Again, there should be some nice puking. Talked about this every day. Yesterday just didn't look anywhere near as bearish as NQ or even Russell. We had this guy here, whatever the heck this was. And then you had balance here, and we were just coming to the top of this, so I wasn't convinced yet because it could have done that. High volume node was the last stand, and we went right through everything. And now we're down here. This is, you can even consider this a failed breakout, right? I mean, again, I don't even know what this is. This V bottom, this V thing, you don't see it very often, but we just pretend this is the balance here. We tried to break out, failed. Now we're right through it. All these guys that are long, and we know all the ISO is in here, guys that were long up here. This has failed. This, and there's nothing down to here as far as structure, right? Could bounce there like we just showed market profile, but this could really get ugly in a hurry. I say it all the time, and we seem to always just turn around and do this, but this is a different scenario here. Now we're below also buying tail, the buying tail. That's what led to this ridiculous move. Buying tail, failed breakout, gone. That's what I'm anticipating. You know, if this turns around and defies logic as usual, like this move did, then once we get back up here, I'll change my tune again. But you cannot be getting long this market in this area, in my opinion, and I will not be. NASDAQ, this was looking terrible even yesterday. We talked about all this. We broke down out of this guy, and we were building balance below here. I said how that's so negative, and now we're all the way down here. We cleared this guy, again, tail. This is where the directional conviction started. This was a huge area. You know, I can see us maybe returning and then failing, possibly, but you don't really play for that, right? You don't just like someone said yesterday, I think it was I'm thinking it might be a failed breakout. Well, you don't think something until you're seeing it. I mean, yeah, you can have a thesis, but you don't anticipate a failed breakout unless you see something that's giving you that reason, right? This could come back to the bottom of this monster balance, and that's what this is, and still remain short and still remain bearish, right? It could even come all the way back up to the high volume node and remain bearish. I don't think it'll get back up there. The point is, you don't play for that move. You know, meaning you don't get long here and say, oh, I think that's going to happen, right? If that happens, then it happens. But then you're looking for areas to short until we can violate important areas back up to the upside. Then I'll change my tune for longs. Until then, I'm going short. And you can see there's just nothing below here as far as structure. This could be like a 300-400 point down day. Easy, right? The next big area is this balance area down here. I seriously just remembered to look to see if I was just talking to myself for 5 minutes again. You guys can see my screen. I think I asked that already, but that I have like nightmares about that. Not that I don't talk to myself anyway, but so this is the move. If this thing gets going, this is the next stop down. And this is, you know, 400 points away from where we're at now, 400 or 500 points away. And this could be a straight shot down. There's not a lot here. You got this little guy here. I would say this trumps this guy. Could bounce. Again, any rallies, look for areas to short, the important areas, and look for your volume to confirm it. You're going to get some nice action to the downside, I think. Market profile. Oops. This was yesterday. Talked about all this yesterday, how we failed to stay inside this guy. We got back in this one, and we were just hovering, building balance. That's below that big balance I just showed you, little balance that you can see on here too, right around the point of control, which wasn't a big area from before where we launched. We got through that overnight, and now we're below this guy too. So it's either going to be a straight shot down into this guy to see how this reacts in here, or we may pop up the open and test the bottom of this, even the bottom of this. I expect that to fail and then head down into this and see if we can get inside this guy. If we get inside this guy or go right through it, then nothing. See TAS extremely negative as well. 60 below. Go to new box here, and we're kind of balancing, but just know your areas. Know we may pop a little bit, and just look for areas to short. Right, you got to play the short side. Algo guy doing what it does. You can see couldn't get above, test the red, couldn't get above, test the red, couldn't get above, test the red, gone. Test to the red, test to the red. Keep an eye on that again. For you newer peeps in here, this is just a exponential moving average. It's actually default, one of the default studies on Thinkorswim. The blue is the shorter term moving average, the red's the longer term, and a lot of algos are based on this. So you don't trade this by itself, but when you just use it to confirm your thesis, and then you know you have the algos on, wind at your sails too for trending moves. There's ES. This is one of the best setups I've seen on this thing yet, where we try to pull above and the blue does not pull above the red, and then as soon as it gets below, it's gone. We've talked about, I point this out like 3 times a day. So it's probably the best setup. Yeah, you can, these kind of setups where it pulls back to the red, but this is like the best one that leads to big moves, because it's like they try to pull it, and then the algos sense that this blue doesn't get above the red, the shorter term doesn't get a long term, and then when it gets below, then you get your move. Pull back to the blue, pull back to the red, blue, red. Now we're sitting here. So keep an eye on that for confirmation that you're still on the right side of the trade, but I'm pretty sure the right side of the trade is going to be short. VIX moving higher overnight. Keep an eye on that. Again, stuff. Again, guys, this is all stuff that you use to bolster your thesis for the day. We already know we're in serious trouble, but use that other stuff to be like, okay, yeah, I'm 100% right on this market call, and then you're just waiting to find the areas with real-time volume to short it. Crude, doing exactly what we said it was going to do. Got along this break of this balance yesterday, built more balance here, gapping up. Now we have cleared the high volume node of this, where we initially struggled here, right? This is the next spot up. It could pause, but this is now extremely even more bullish, right? Because we cleared this guy that's struggling. Now it's going to either do this or build balance and then do that. That's all I'm looking for. I'm not looking to short this market whatsoever. Not here. If we turn around for some reason, then we start getting through the high volume nodes of balances, this one, then I'll possibly look to short, but we still got to get through this guy too, right? And then this guy. So this is probably going to be well supported, even if it does fall back, but I'm anticipating a large up move day to day. That will be in the face of equity, so we'll see who wins out there. It's been doing its own thing though lately, so it could still rally. So overnight, you had balance going back into yesterday, broke out, little balance, broke out, little balance, broke down. Now we have balance here. So you want to watch if this busts out here, and as long as it can clear this little, again, this is overnight trade, not as important, but once we get through there, then this is that one zone I just showed you above there is adios to the upside. Little guy. Red, red, red. That's what I'm looking for. Market profile. Important area, right? So where we failed before, and now we're building balance right here. This gets rolling. Adios. Again, you can even, tendency, obviously we talk about all the time, these value areas, they'll move away, they will retest it, and then they'll go, just like the other setups that we talk about. It just happens over and over and over. So if you're anticipating that, you're not, even if you get long, you're not freaking out if it pulls back a little bit and pulls back to the edge of this. Or you wait for a pullback and then you look for your volume signals and you get in. First time up last night near that area. This is why the real-time volume is so important. This was a nice Dumb and Dumber. This was 140, which is large. That's pretty much threshold during the day, let alone at night, right? And typical crude, it pops a little bit above, but it didn't get 10 ticks above, right? The zone was about 77. Did this, gone. So if you were long, this is a place to get out for now because you had a bearish setup. Doesn't mean you go short. It worked, but again, most of the time when the market's trending like this one, you don't get this type of move, right? They'll work, but it's very short-lived. You want to be on the side of the market that is most likely to lead to, bigger moves. But once again, the setups still work, right? There it is, retested the exact zone, gone. Nice 70 tick trade. If you had the guts to go short there, I would not have, but I definitely would have gotten out of my long if I was long, if I saw that, which I will do again if I get long. Keep an eye on crude, nothing but longs for me in that. Gold. PTK, did he? I didn't see his email come through. Oh, there he is, yeah. Could someone put the link in for him, please? I'll email him later. All right, gold. Still bullish overall. Talked about this yesterday. How we had a failed breakdown. Then we built balance. Then we ripped up through the high volume node, extremely bullish. We came here, we talked about this zone yesterday. We built balance. I'll show you that zone here in a second that it struggled at. And we pulled back to here, and that's exactly where we bounced. This is still a very bullish market. And once we get above this guy, I mean, this is turning into now, just a bigger balance area, but I still consider this a failed breakdown. So once we get through this, bye-bye. And that's what I'm playing off of. I mean, I'm still going to be long no matter what signals I get. I'm not going short this market, not here. If we, for some reason, it pulls a gold and comes back down through this high volume node, then I'll reconsider, right? But I'll watch, this guy. If we get through that, then I'll reconsider it. Until then, I'm looking nothing but long and gold. All right. So that's that. What's going on with my short? Behaving like it should. Again, it's not going to surprise me to see this play games right at the open. I can definitely see one of these hanging around, maybe pop a little higher and then going. If that doesn't happen, this is going to be a fail breakdown. I mean, it is overnight, so I want to look at this as a, because all of the structure that I look at here, I don't look at overnight, right? So I've got to base it once the market opens, where are we at? So meaning, again, if you discount this nonsense here, if we open up down here and then we do that, and then we do that, that's a fail breakdown, right? right? But if we open up inside of this, then it's still within this, even though we know what happened overnight, it's still within this as far as this chart view, and I'll play it as, you know, it hasn't broken down yet. Not that I'm going to go long, but I don't think in the next 8 minutes we're going to get back up into this area. So we're probably going to open up right here, and if it does do this, that'll be a fail breakdown, and then looking long again. I don't think that's going to happen, but it could. I'm leaning, again, I'm not leaning, I'm playing nothing but shorts until I'm proven wrong. And if it can get back above 4180, then I'll look long again, which again, could easily happen. I don't think it will, but it could. So you got to play with what you're seeing. And this is showing me it's going to free fall. All right, see if there's any questions in here. Some liquidity. Let's take a look at, oh, I didn't even show you guys this. So this is the, this is NASDAQ, monster double whammy here. 300 icebergs, multiple stop runs. Look at these stop runs. 180 or 190, 218, 336, all into the waiting hands of ICE, by ICE, right? So this is technically a bullish setup until this breaks. If this breaks, I'll look for one of those, right? Again, based on your trading, you know, if you want to be aggressive, you can sell it right when it breaks this zone. I just think the better, especially going short these markets, as everyone knows, it's like pulling teeth. So you're probably better off waiting for at least a, you know, a 10-point move away from the bottom of the zone, wait for the retest, wait to see the sellers engage again, meaning the red bubbles. That's when you use the bubbles, and then that's where you short. So you have to decide, do you want to be aggressive or wait? I'm going to wait because I'm so sick of playing the break of the zone and then having that be the low tick and then having to do that. So I will wait to show confirmation it can move lower, retest, fail, then I'm going to be in. And but the point is, if you trade that way, which is a great way to trade, it's conservative, you do risk missing the move that just doesn't come back. Right? So you got to decide what you're okay with. Yes, just hanging. Russell. This thing's looked, why is it showing me this market opened already? Is that right? Where's this market at? No, we're down here. I don't know what this little red blip is here. But anyway, this has remained looking bearish this whole time, right? We talked about this. We talked about the failed breakout. Then we retested what? The high volume node. And we basically, this is just one balance area here, and now we're down here. Again, not a lot of structure. This thing could free fall as well. So you basically get to pick your poison today. They all look like they're gonna rip lower. The algo guy holding blue, holding the blue, holding the red. You know, pay attention if this thing does rip and it pulls the blue above, then you may not want to focus on that market for shorts because they have been trading pretty individually lately. Most of these markets, euro, actually, let's look at grains. Beans looks like it's in no man's land right now. We obviously knew that happened. We built balance, we broke down, retested that volume node. Then it looked like this, when I was short on Friday, it looked like we were going about 90 cents lower. It held, came back, retested the bottom of this guy, and now we're, you know, basically in the middle of this. So that's not a good looking market right there. I want to short it if we get back below here, or if we get long, I'll go long. If it gets back above that high volume node, that's where I'll be looking for longs. And I'll be looking for shorts below here. Until then, you're probably going to get whipsaw city. Wheat. This is hanging by a thread. Got this little guy here, but other than that, this gets rolling. Not a lot until down here. I should have this guy too, but that's still a really good trade. It's like 50 cents. Again, stored energy. Traders that are long, got to puke. We start moving lower. Guys that like to play breakouts, jump on the bandwagon. You know, because this thing's been so bullish, like equities, you can wait as well. As far as breakdown, wait for a retest, then failure, wait for a retest. So say you don't get anything here volume-wise in your SI setups, wait for a retest there, failure. If this gets above that, then I'll look long. So I'm looking long above here, and I'm looking nothing but short below there. I will short this right away. So if this opens up and there's a bearish signal, I will short that. You got all these guys that are stuck that were long in this area. So wheat looks a lot better to trade than soybeans. Let's see if anything happened overnight. Nothing really in beans. Got some bias in this area. Again, I'm not going to trade off of that. I'll wait for something new. Market profile. Merge these again. If you guys are new to market profile, these blue zones are just composites. So these are individual days. If the value areas, which is 67% of the trade roughly, is within 50% of the day before, I will merge them. So I'll merge that. I'll merge that. Then draw a new composite. All right, here we go. Expecting some nonsense rip first. Let's get this drawn quickly, and then we'll get over to equities.
NQI's 151 sell.
So that value is already there from before. So again, under
S&P sell 731.
Under 720.
NQI's 153 buy.
And wheat is what I'm looking for. Hey, look at that! I can't believe we're going to pop up at the open.
5700.
Who knew? Let's see what happens here. Here comes the sell ice. And smart people just wait for the bell and then just buy. I sit there and complain. Well, it does that every day, and it does it every single day.
S&P sells 150 buy.
It's just like literally every day. The bell rings, buy it. Here you go. You got 5 points already. Just blind. Would 4167 lows from the other day matter at this point, Scott? You know, that is a spot gamma level, and we're ripping right through it. Again, I'm not falling. This is still, let's look at this. This is still very bearish. Or this can turn into a fail. See, we opened here.
NQI's 150 buy.
This could do this. We know how important this area is. So if this just rips right through here, then congratulations again. The bulls win again. The whatever you call those dudes who are the new wave traders, stock traders that just buy everything, then they win again. But again, this has got to get above this high volume node to be a fail breakout. Breakdown, I should say. Right? I'm expecting this. It could hold, you know, play in this area and then go.
NQI's 151 buy.
You've got to play that way right now. We gap down below this huge balance area. And Q's just sitting in this monster double whammy area. Let's see what happens here. Again, if this, I'm going to wait for this to break, retest, and then go, then I'm shorting it if it breaks. So 5 minute. And that break will be also a break of balance.
NQI's 150 sell.
See, not all balances are created equal. We know what happened in this.
Soybean nice.
Got that huge double, let me turn this down a little bit. You got that huge double whammy in there as well.
NQI's
Here we go.
151 buy.
Again, a move away is at least 10 points.
346 sell.
There we go.
NQ stock 191 sell.
There you go.
NQI's 100 by C807.
Wow.
NQ stock 150 sell.
See, this might be, I might miss this trade because look at the stop run that came in. And the thing is,
150 buy.
thing is now this is a new setup too. I'll still short this, but this may turn into a dumb and dumber right now, right? Because this is a brand new setup. But if this comes here and fails, I'm going to give it a shot because it'll be the top of this as well. So I'll give it a shot. But this is a brand new setup now. Get out of this. Get this set up. Account set up. All right. Draw this zone as well, different color.
NQI's 150 buy.
Start it here to here. Let me make sure I'm not missing this trade.
50 sell.
This is worthy of a 12 as well. I think that's orange. A 12 on the thickness scale because it's that's a monster stop run. All right, so let's see what happens. You see what I'm saying now? Shorting this on a return. So I'm playing this other zone, but you're really risking a double whammy. So here you go. Here's the retest. There's the fail. I'm in. But again, I'm doing it in the face of this puke that could turn into a dumb and number right in my face. Actually, this has got to be half size, right? I'm risking too much, right? This zone is like NQI's
153 sell.
How big is this zone? I didn't even realize how big this zone was. Yeah, this is I should only have one on based on this zone. This is like an 80-point zone. So the best play here is obviously you don't want to be risking 80 points like I just did. Wait for it to break this because this is still considered, this will be a stop and hold, right? If this holds and then moves lower, that's where you can short it. And all you got to do is basically risk back up to here, maybe 10 points above this zone to 65. Now you're only risking 45 points instead of 80. That didn't even register how big that zone was. Again, and you don't want to be risking 80 points when you're pretty much doing it in the face of what could be a bullish setup right now, right? That's my worry here. Let's see what happens there. Yes, make sure I don't miss stuff here. Buy ice, of course. Why is my iceberg's chart not working? Oh, and the new hero spot gamma indicator. Again, you newer guys on here, if you want to get in the beta testing pilot, let me know. Just message me. But mine is not working because if you download the newest thing, you now have to put in your bookmap credentials instead of the spot gamma stuff. And I don't know those offhand, so that's why you don't see my spot gamma working right now. I'll do that after the webinar. If you guys see any anomalies or if you guys want to post what it looks like, that'd be great. I'd like to see where it is right now on this potential sell-off. Anyone? Dealer? Someone's got to be using it now. I think we have 20 guys in here that are using that thing. at least. You can post a screenshot of the NASDAQ and the ES. I just want to see what it looks like. All right, I'm gonna probably just cover this trade 10 points above the zone because this is a bull. Again, this has happened more recently than that double whammy, right? If this holds, that's a dumb and dumber. I don't want to hold this 80 points. What I will do here though, if this fails, I'll put on full size because now I'm not risking much. I just missed like 10 points of that, but 1 second.
NQ has 151 sell.
All right, again, very aggressive trade here, right? I'm just anticipating this is going to turn into a stop and hold. But this is the one time, so again, you don't want to stop out in the middle of the zones, but I'm playing off of this dumb and dumber, potentially dumb and dumber that would stop me out. I'm not going long, right? It's this new one is what I'm playing off of. Now, if this gets below and it does this and this, then I'll add to this trade. You can't risk 80 points on a trade. That's ridiculous. I do think we can sell off 400 points today, but that's asking a lot. So nobody has a spot gamma indicator working. Can post a screenshot. This will be appetizing too. Yeah, that's what it is, guys. You gotta put in your normal bookmap credentials. I don't know why we didn't get any kind of heads up on that. So this could be a failed. Look at this tail too. If we do this and then this, that's more just a short-term reason to be short. Thanks, David. David, I emailed you or I messaged you too last night. I need your Gmail email so I can send you the links to the spreadsheet, position sizing spreadsheet, and I don't know if you have access to the webinars, past webinars.
NQ has 155.
All right, there goes NQ.
150 sell.
So now
NQ has 158 buy.
you can see if this goes 10 points. That was 10 points. This could be an added trade, which I'm going to. Right there. See the retest fail, which I'm just going to put on 2. It's fine. There we go. So this turned into what? It never violated. It's a stop and hold. Stayed in the zone, gone. And he even got the retest. All right, let's find some places where I might want to lighten up this. This actually, hey, look at ES. What do you know? Look at that. Pigs. Puke them up. Puke them up. Puke up the 45,000 icebergs that you've been buying for the last 2 weeks. I can't believe I didn't get stopped out there. That's delightful. Go to 0, exactly. Hey, look at, hey, this is another shocking development too. Look at this. Wow, it's like this paper, it's gonna get their way. Huh, it's been in there all morning. Never seen that before. Again, guys, this is how it works. You can either get mad at it. I don't really get mad at it. I joke about it because it is a joke. They just do whatever they want at all times. If this struggles here, I'm going to get out of half of this and then wait for a retest because you know it's going to retest that zone again. But guys, they run the show, so it's if you can't beat them, join them, right? If you know what they're doing and you know the game, then it's not you don't get mad at it. You're like, okay, and I know exactly where we're going. So if I see blue come in here, I'm going to get out of one of these for right now because again, one of my reasons to get out of my trades is if it struggles at liquidity, right? I just want to see, again, I'm not getting out unless I see some buyers. right? If this just goes red, 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 red right through it, another reason why you use the bubbles in this instance. You don't just use bubbles randomly. You use them in important areas where you say, okay, hey, the buyer's fighting back at an important liquidity level that it can't pop through right now, right? See this go right through here. There you go. I'll go to the 50. I want to see my levels in NQ market profile, but I don't want to miss this buy-in up. Yeah, see where we're at in market profile? This could definitely bounce back out of this thing. I'd love to see it accept in here, but 34.25 is back out of there. Again, you got to let this thing breathe, man. Again, would I like to see this just free fall 50 points? Absolutely, but you know what it's going to do. It's starting to freeze up. That was the wrong market. All right, still. Now, why do I want to get out? If I don't see any buying, why do I want to get out, right? It is struggling at this liquidity right now, but there's no buying. So wait till you see some decent blue. And again, don't do this to your chart to find blue, because you're always going to find blue if you do that, right? Keep it relative to how you had it. You can just see this heavy selling, right? Telling you guys, do not, you do what you want, it's your money. I would not be buying this dip. This could get very, very ugly, like relentless ugly. That being said, I'll probably rip back up 30 points because that's all it ever does. Just defies logic every day. The buyers are trying here, and they're not winning, as you can see. So my next level, if this gets motoring down, will be that 50 level with all that liquidity. Again, I don't pay attention to stuff that just pops in. I like the stuff that's been in there the entire time. You see why? It's like you don't get out here. There's no buyers. The buyers are not winning. Okay, so now this might be a reason to cover this trade. If this turns into a bullish setup, I will cover this trade. We got, what's the size here? 214 stops. That is definitely what threshold. So if this fails, turns into a Dumb and Dumber, I'm going to get out of my position and wait for another opportunity, right? Started there. Down here. So if we pop back above 60, so I will be getting out 10 points above this. This is how you trail your stops. Right? I'm not trailing my stops based on my P&L. I'm trailing my stops based on new structure that came in. This would be, if this doesn't hold, now you can actually add to this, which I will, but I will wait for it to break, retest. But if this pops up and stops me out, it's a nice profit. I wait for my next opportunity. But I'm basing it on structure. I'm basing it on something. I'm not looking at my P&L saying I don't want to give back my rent for the next 2 months, right? My mortgage for the next 2 months, my kids' tuition, whatever you're paying. That's not what you're basing your trades off of. That's why you need to put a piece of black tape over this so you can't see it. So you just trade. Just trade. This is human nature to not want to lose this back, right? So if this pops up, it stops me out, I'm fine with it. Move on to the next one. This may just keep going. It should keep going, as I've been saying. Yes, now we're at this liquidity, right? If I see blue, I'm going to get out of half. Yeah, if you didn't get that email, I don't know why some of you guys didn't get it. Check your spam. Most everyone except for the new guys should have got the link to the webinar. All right, I'm going to get out of a half there just because I'm just anticipating this to pop up. Let me cancel this stop here. Again, guys, do not ignore bullish setups. I want this thing to free fall 400 points straight as much as anybody else who's short. You can't ignore this. Right? You will get another opportunity, I promise. Holding nicely. And guys, you know, when you sit here and analyze, we've been talking about this for how many days, and when it finally materializes and you start getting set up and set up and set up and set up where you can add, this is what you wait for, right? You tread water when the market sucks like it has for 2 weeks, basically since I started these webinars, right? And then when you get this day, this is the day that makes your entire month or your entire year, where you play structure, you add, you add, you add. Some days it's not going to pop back up, and those are the days you make, you know, an outsized 10 times what you usually make. That's what you're aiming for, right? That's what trading is. It's not this consistent, again, I say it all the time, I get these emails, what do I need to do to make $500 a day? Well, you're not gonna make $500 every single day. Yeah, you can average $500 a day, but this is not a regular job where the market just pays you to come here, sit here and watch and put trades on, right? So your goal is to tread water, not blow up, and then when you catch this big day, that's what it's about. I didn't need to get out at 50 there. I thought I saw blue, not so much. So watch these spot gamma levels too. Oh, if anybody is long here, by the way, or got long on that break, you're banished from the room. 15, just kidding, but please don't tell me you got long. Hey, did you get long thinking that was gonna be a failed breakout or breakdown? You had that coming, so I won't say it again, but you had that one coming. 13,558 is the bottom of that value in NASDAQ. You want to watch that? I will cover some if it struggles there. And then ES, there's nothing. We got through this point of control. That was at 53. Next one down, we got 33 and 3/4. I'm mad that I only have half a position on this thing, so I would love to dominate this pig market. Hate the ES, but it is what it is. I had to risk too much to put that trade on. All right, so now what happened here? Moved away, pretty close to 10 points. Retest. If this fails, I'm going to add. If I can get off my drawer. Give it a second here. All right. So now I added. My stop goes in the same exact spot. Of course, that was the dead low tick, but it is what it is. All right, look at this. How often do you see this in ES? There's just not one blue bubble. Never. It's just fun to watch. This is all this is mostly probably those icebergs that have been buying 50,000 contracts. They all weren't out up there, and we didn't really move much higher as far as, you know, for them to really make a decent profit, right? Guys, this is seriously, there's nothing here. There's nothing down to here. And that 33 level is pretty much the top of this guy, which I don't even think is that important anymore. But that's the bottom of that market profile. We could literally go straight there. Watch your spot gamma levels. If I had multiple positions on, if I had more than one on, I would, if it bounced off a spot gamma level, that's another reason you can lighten up for now. All right, I got to keep a close eye on this. If something new pops in here, I don't want to miss that and watch this thing rip. Hey, look what's down here. I wonder who's going to get filled. I wonder. Again, don't start asking, well, what is that? Are they covering? Are they trying to get long? It doesn't matter. It does not matter. It's that it's in there and it's going to get filled because they always get their fills. Always. It's not always right away, but they always get their fills. All right, I'm going to watch this down here at 50. I will cover, if it struggles there, I will cover a quarter of the position, or a third. I'll do a third.
NQ ice 155.
This is just a beautiful thing to see in ES. I just love this. Go buy them now. Where's all your big icebergs, guys? Where are they at? Very, very quiet all of a sudden. Do you see how I take this very personally?
150 sell.
More so in the ES, just because that's the market that, you know, I made all the money in and then knocked me out. So I take it very, very, I'm a little too competitive. All right, guys, again, you know, this thing will do these pops, and yeah, it could come up and stop me out, but you know the structure, you know the areas, you stay in the trade. What's algo guy look like?
NQ ice 174 buy.
Okay, so now you hear that ice coming in. So if this pops up away from here, I'm gonna get out of this trade because this is, it's only showing 160, but they said 170. Again, this would be a bullish setup, and I'm out, and I'll wait. There's gonna be plenty of opportunities to get in. It started right around here, right? So I'm gonna go 10 points, so I'm gonna move this down to 95 now. Or just get out as it pops up there immediately. Again, I'm out of the full trade because this is a bullish setup potentially. If this breaks, if this holds and breaks, you can add a new position and then trail your, and then use the same stop area, right? So that, I mean, that at least saved me, if this does pop up, it saved me 15 points. I don't have to risk 15 points more. This is why you use real-time buying, guys. These guys that are trading bar charts or even algo guy or whatever, they have no idea what is happening in these markets like right now to know this might be a stopping point, right? They're just hoping it doesn't stop. You don't need to hope.
NQ stocks 212 sell.
Here you go. Now you can add to this trade.
184 buy.
If not, this could be a dumb and dumber. This is a big stop run, 256. Now you can trail it down even more. I might even have time to add to this guy. Where did that start? Hopefully the market will wait for me. There. So you can go 10 points above there. So now we can move it to 68.50. And you could add, I just didn't have time to do all this. So if this trade 68.50, I'm going to be out of this trade. Why? Because that's a bullish setup. It's pretty close there. There we go. I'm out.
NQ ice 151 sell.
Of course, the sell ice is coming in here now, but that's fine. It's a great trade, right? And I got out for a reason, not because I didn't want to see my G.I. Joe with the Kung Fu grip purchase disappear. Trading places. Of course, stopped out to the exact tick. That's fine, guys. You're going to get plenty of opportunities to short this market. This is a double whammy, right? I mean, I got to change some of these zones. It's confusing me now. All right, let me delete this. We'll redraw this. Actually, let me quickly look at ES and see if the pain is continuing there. Where all the ice? Where they at? Where's all the big buyers? Oh, I don't see any 10 or 1,000, 1,500, 2,000 ice anymore. I wonder why. All right, so let's draw this double whammy, potentially. I did get stopped out to the exact tick. I know that's shocking.
S&P ice sell 711.
There's a sell ice. Yes.
NQ ice.
So now if I'm, if that turns out to be broken ice, I can get out of that ES trade too. All right, that was that. Actually, no, that was not that. Goodness gracious. Sorry, guys. That was that.
NQ ice 154 buy.
See how this ice came in all this whole way? This is all the way to the bottom. There you go. That's the double whammy zone. And we just broke it. Oh, that hurts. That hurts. Now, if this retest fails, I'm going to get in again. I might not get that opportunity. I mean, that's because look at this. This is seriously, it's this exact tick every single time. How could that be? And that volatile of a market, how do I pick the exact tick? This is so frustrating. Thanks, Cheetos. Like what? Well, if I knew who Joshua Bell was, I would say thank you, but I'm assuming he is a world-renowned violinist. I don't even know if is that what you call him? I'm obviously not as refined as you. All right, here's the retest. See if this fails. I'll get back in. If I see red, I'm in. I'm in. I'm going to go 10 points above here again. And I stopped out where this should have been my stop. Look where this top of the zone was. It's 61. It was at 61. My stop should have been at 71, and I would still be in that trade. I just moved it because it was moving so quickly. I moved it up or moved my stop down. I would have still been in this trade, and I would add another 30 points on a 10 lot on here. There you go. There's the retest failure. Oh, wait, this is the, I got to be careful here. Remember, this 30 area is an area that ES is going straight to that thing. This is fun to watch. We're already through it though. So pay attention here. This could struggle and then get back in here. So that price is, I will get out of half of those if it comes back up there, because I would have been get out of half anyway on that first test. 56.50. I was thinking that was lower, no? All right, so it's fine. That trade's in there then with that stop. Perfect scenario, guys. I should seriously have 14 on right now. I should not have been stopped out if granted it was whipping around, but I should have been 10 ticks above that, 10 points above that zone, and I would not have been stopped. Oh, it sucks. I got it in my other accounts too. Oh well, there'll be other opportunities, I promise. And ES is seriously going straight to that 30 level. Look at that. I'm going to draw this ice. I don't know why my iceberg had it. There you go. See the sell ice, this 1100 there? So that was part of this, right? That's that. That was down to here. That's that zone. So if that pops above that zone, I'm going to get out of this short for now too. Now there's more NQ ice. That'll give me an opportunity to add or get out. I will add to this ES if it breaks below here, retest, and then goes. I'm not going to be aggressive, especially after this big of a down move. So I know that was threshold ice. Oh yeah, look at this right here. Look at this 264. This is broken ice, it looks like. This is another ad. Yep. Oh, God. Look at that trade, man. I missed that one too. That was this ice here. That was this zone. Guys, this is the days that you wait for. Look at that. That was that. That was that. That was that. That was a retest. That was a failure. You get short. Here's another 20 plus points. This should seriously be a year-making day. I hope you guys are jumping on these moves. And then you have here a stop run. So this will help you get out, or you can add again. This is either a dumb and dumber, bullish dumb and dumber. You get out of the trade, which I will top of that. See how hard it is to try to draw these though? So 40 is the area that I'll get out of that because that's 10 points above where this stop run started. I'd say it's right here. No. There to there. So 27, so 37.50, you can pop out of that. Mine's at 40, it's fine. Still didn't really even trade there, did it? Yeah, I might have traded there. Mine's at 40. I really messed up that trade where I got out of that large position because I didn't do my zone properly. But it's real tough to draw zones as the market's free falling. So here's the retest of ES, right? If this fails, I'm going short here, full size. And you only have to risk 5 points, a little more. I'll go a couple points above the zone. Again, guys, I think this is going straight down. We did bounce off 0 gamma, so this is a little riskier trade here. If you don't want to do this trade, I would understand it because this is 0 gamma, and you see that's right where we bounce. So this may, but the point is, if we're going to bounce, this should not fail and come back anyway. So I will give this a shot. Like that. I'm just going to go, I'll go 3 points above here. But again, this is, I proceed with caution right here. You want to see this get below the 0 gamma level, and then you can start really stepping on the gas. This could easily just bounce and stop me out here. Would not surprise me. But I'm not going to sit here and watch this market free fall when I've been calling it for a year, basically, and not be part of it. So in the NASDAQ, again, guys, if you play this right, you should have like 7 positions on right now in this market. Screwed that up. If I just looked at that zone a little closer, I would still be in full size here.
NQI's 150 to sell.
All right, that's
NQI's 150 buy.
that ice. Yeah, see, this is why you're showing 0. Did you just hear that? There was 150 buy ice, 150 sell ice. So it's showing net 0 on the chart. I mean, on the graph, right? But you know 300 icebergs just fired off right here. That's important. It should be showing me on the, I don't know why it's not showing me on the icebergs on chart though. But this is the whole fallacy with this thing is if they're doing icebergs, you don't know it. This is what this is supposed to show, the icebergs on chart. This is an important area, right? Hey, there goes gold, just like we thought. Getting along there too. So what are we waiting for? 365. I fully expect this to be a stop and hold. Hey, look at the liquidity getting filled too. Who knew? It's just the same patterns, guys, over and over and over and over in all these markets. That's what I was saying. Someone the other day is like, I haven't been watching this market enough. I need to know. It's all the same. It's volume and knowing the volume and knowing how it should react to the volume and knowing your structure. That's what it is. Let's see if this holds this and pops. This is why you want to spread this out too, right? When you spread it out, you see how far it really, actually, I don't even have that right. Great, now I gotta be trying to draw zones in 3 different markets. Well, you know what is hitting the fan? Gosh, this seriously, guys, you see, this is what you wait for. This is a year making day. I should have 5 positions on right now for this just doesn't stop. This is why, if you know what you're doing, this is another stop run. This could be a Dumb and Dumber. So now, actually, it's right around the same spot. So 40, I'm going to stop out of this trade. Forgot what I was just saying. Again, 177 stops. Stop, run, no follow through, Dumb and Dumber. You go 10 points above where it started, right around 27.50. You can be out at 37.50. My stop's at 40. I'll stop out and I'll wait for my next opportunity. All right, out of that. So I'm assuming I'm going to lose on that ES held that area. Yep, twice. But that's fine. I mean, this is a setup. I'm going to hold it. But both times, 0 gamma, right? Here, what I'm going to do here is I'm going to just cover 3 of them because I don't feel like taking a. Should have been covering 3 if I was watching this when it bounced off 37 again. Screw it, I'll just leave it in. But I'm not going to break my rules. My rule, I'm playing this zone, this ice zone, right? Oh, did I just miss this too? I sure did. This is a Dumb and Dumber right here. All right, so I'm out. I'll show you why here in a second. You guys got to point this stuff out, right? I'm trying to hop between three markets. Point this out. Say, hey, Scott, that ES, there's a Dumb and Dumber right down there, right? Look at the stop run. This is a 700 stop run, right at spot gamma. No, I'm not adding the shorts right now. I'm getting out of my positions because this is a bullish setup, right? I'll show you here in a second. I was adding the shorts the entire time down, Andy. But not in ES, but in Q. All right, so see what happened there? This is a reason to get out. I mean, I cost myself a couple points. I should have been out right here. Actually, you want to go 3 points above the zone, so that I would have been right here, right? So we're bearish, 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 bearish. Dumb and Dumber, stop run, no follow through, at an important level. But the thing is, I would not have even put on this trade here. See where I put the trade on? Because I didn't even see this. I would not have put this short on. I would have put the short on below here, not here. So I cost myself some money there in the ES. Of course, can't be profitable in this pig market. That's all right. We got a nice, nice moving on Q. Let's see what happens here in gold. Gold, Dumb and Dumber. Didn't work. See, guys? I mean, this is why you need volume. If you're trading these charts, you're like, yeah, gold it's gonna rip, man. This thing is gone. Bye-bye. You get long, and then you're like, oh, well, now this thing's 30 ticks in your face and you have no idea why. But we know why. Why? Because there was a stop run with no follow through. This is a Dumb and Dumber. This is a bearish setup. Do I want to get short? No. Could you get short in this area? Potentially, because this is an area that we've struggled in. This is why the zone is here, right? Struggle, 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 conviction, led to this down move, struggle yesterday, struggled again. So yeah, you could. I don't want to based on the fail breakdown we had the other day. I'm still looking long, like we talked about at the beginning of this webinar. This seems like it was like 3 hours ago. But my point is, if you were long there and you see this, you're out of the trade right now. You're out, and you wait for your next setup. Doesn't mean it can't do that. That's fine. I'll just wait for a new setup then. You're gonna hear me say it 5 trillion times. If you do not have real-time volume setups, you do not have all the information. I don't care how good of a market reader you are, you don't know what's happening fully, completely. MQ, so something firing off there. Okay, guys, I'm just looking for areas to get short again. Now I'm starting to get confused by my zones here too, but, and you know this liquidity is going to get filled. It's been in here all morning. I'd like to see this thing rip up. Let's look at some levels here. Right, this is the tendency of markets, right? This would be a very good place to short. It moves out of value. We went right through it, retest the bottom, then go. So watch this 50-53 area for a potential short setup with the volume that you re-enter, right? There's nothing to do right here, in my opinion. Let's look at that move. This is a zone that I had drawn. Let's take a look. These zones are incredible, guys, and you learn to draw them. And there are more reasons to get out. Look at that. That's where we're bouncing. This is not, trust me, this is nothing. This little guy compared to this. Yep, right through it.
NQI's 150 to buy.
All right, let's see what's going on here. Hey, look at that. I got down to that liquidity. Huh. 214. This could be a stop and hold. Let's draw another zone. I just want to delete these zones. All right, that's okay. I'm gonna make it a different color so we can follow.
NQI's 200 sell.
There's the retest. Did that go 10 ticks below or 10 points below that zone? I don't think so. No. So I don't consider this a move away retest, right? I want to see this go at least 10 points below this zone, right around 91, then retest, then fail. If not, I don't consider this just a blip. Anything less than 10 points in these thinner traded markets is just a blip. 10 points or 10 ticks like in gold and crude. You got stuff firing off in crude now too, so I'm not going to try to drive zones in 4 markets as stuff is just hitting the fan. Look at that, stop and hold in crude. Again, I didn't want to be long, I mean short, but if you were long, another reason to get out. That's a bearish setup. I'll come back to that in a second. All those guys that tried to get long up there, they're liking this right now. But you don't get long because you see this is bearish. You wait. Now, if I get something bullish, I'll gladly go long. Or if it gets above there and I get something bullish, I'll go long. All right, so this could be another. So this is technically a double whammy, right? You had sell stops, 2 different sell stops, and then waiting buy ice. That's this zone here. Let's make this a different color. This is getting a little confusing. Oh, what am I doing? Let's make it, just make it blue for now. Purple, blue. You see that, guys? That's why you don't take that trade on the retest, because it didn't move far enough out of the zone. Demand 10 points, demand this. Even if you did, this was never a failure, right? It did this and it never got back out. Stayed, gone. You avoid a rip in your face, knowing how to play these setups. And guys, if you don't have the setups, get the course. All right, that course is golden. It's been out for a year. The setups still work. Learn your stuff. You'll speed up your learning curve. Will you learn this stuff on your own on these webinars? Yes. It could take you months, right? Or you can fast track it, learn what I'm doing, so you're not waiting months to wait for me to point out every time a setup occurs, right? I think most of the people on here have the course, but you guys need to, there's certain things you want to be spending money on. There's certain things you don't, right? Number one, you need the SI indicator if you want to have all the information. And then 2, if you want to learn the setups, I highly recommend you get the course with the thresholds and everything else, because that'll fast track your learning where you're not sitting here for 3 months trying to pick up the setups. Trust me, there was guys in the We Trade Desk room that were trying to do that, and they just, every day they were lost. And they're, what's this? Wait, what is that setup? Wait, what's that threshold? It's like, dude, just, the course is like, 3 to 5 E-mini S&P points. It's not like it's, most of these clowns out there, these educators, they don't even know what the hell they're doing, are charging like $5 grand for their stuff. So it's definitely the best value you're ever going to get as far as helping you understand what's going on in these markets. All right, there we go. Get out of the CS. I got it on my other account. You see where we bounced? I mean, these guys, you need to know structure. You need to know market profile. This is exactly where we bounced. It's exactly where we said we were going. I mean, this is a straight beeline move. Now we could just kind of hover here for a while. If it breaks that, then where are we going? Down here. Yes, we've traded through this a couple times, but it still looks like it's relevant, right? Well, I mean, granted, it was the bottom of this newer one, but I still think it's relevant. Oh, and back to the course. If you do get it, you get a discount for being a my trader member as well. So don't be smart. All right, what am I doing here? Thank you. All right, we're still back to this. Oh, I haven't even got into Russell today. So watch for one of those still. It's 50 area. X out of that. I should have never had this trade on, but it is what it is. I just didn't see this. But at least I got out, right? I didn't sit here and hold it and hope. I got out. You guys, if you make a mistake, get out. Don't sit there and be like, oh man, I missed that. Okay, well, I'm just going to let this go. Just get out of the trade. You're going to have another opportunity. This is what we want. I want this thing to bungee jump now so I can find a better place to short it. This is just starting. Unless if this were to come back all the way and get back above the high volume node, then I'll change my tune. But until then, I'm playing short. There's nothing here. You got this big deal. And granted, yeah, this is very far from this guy's dispute, but let's see what's going on. Gold. You see that, guys? Look at that. Keeps you out of trouble. If you know how to read the setup, it keeps you out of trouble. Let's see. Now this could be a bullish setup. Again, remember, I'm looking to go long. Here's your zone. Started there, down to there. This pops out of there. You can even wait for it to pop out, retest, and then go, because gold does it all the time too. Wait for this, wait for that, gone. This is right now, it's looking like it's going to be a stop and hold. Actually, it looks like it's going to be a double whammy. What's the size here? The iceberg weren't that big, but the stop run, this could easily be a bullish setup. We don't know yet until it gets out of the zone, but I'm guessing it's going to be. Algo guy. This is what you want, right? This is trending up. You want to see pullbacks into the red. It's not quite at the red yet, but that's what these markets do, guys. They rotate. If you know that, you're not panicking out when you're in positions. There's NASDAQ algo guy, by the way. See what it's trying to do here? It's trying to yank this blue above. If that doesn't happen, the minute it gets below, that's going to be the next wave, is my guess. Yes, algo guy. Oh, wait, let me watch this. All right, I'm going to be aggressive here. It usually doesn't work out, but all right, I'm in there. That was a terrible fill. Hold on, let me get on my other account too. All right, what was this? This was a stop and hold. My stop's going to go 10 ticks below at 09. All right, there you go. For all the reasons we talked about being long. I will watch intently as we come back up to this zone here to see how it reacts. I haven't even looked at Russell yet. So again, you don't have to always just jump in. You can wait for the retest. That's a safer trade, but you're just risking that it doesn't retest and it just goes straight, right? But most of the time it will come back, test the zone. If you see blue, that's when you get in. It's just the same stuff over and over. I keep telling you. And I'm just going to keep saying it over and over until it's ingrained in your head. What did I miss in Russell? Anything? Doesn't look like there's a lot of volume coming through this puppy. You had a nice broken ice, looks like up here. That was it. See this here? 174, 150 is a threshold in Russell. That ended right around there. Popped a little bit above and then gone. You even got the usual move away, retest, failure. You get short there, stop goes up here. And we all know what happened after that. Gone. How's that? How's that for a trade? So what's so funny is Chris Short Squeeze is on vacation. He's the guy that was my mentor, and he's going to make $1.5 million earlier this year. Again, I'm not taking credit for his $1.5 million, but I definitely got him on the right track. But anyway, he emailed me the other day and said, I'm going on vacation. Now watch, the equities are going to sell off like 5%. He's like, it happens every time I go on vacation. And he's a big Russell trader, so he's going to be so mad when he sees this kind of move. It's pretty funny. I'm sure you'll hear him complaining when he gets back. All right, guys, I gotta get my bearings here. I've been chirping for an hour plus, hour and a half. So we know, you know what to look for, right? You're looking for areas to get back short. This gold trade might not work. I should have waited for, actually, I still would have been in this trade, right? Here's the retest. I still would have been in. So I'm fine with this trade. But you're just looking for long scenarios, and I'm just looking for long scenarios in gold. Let's take a quick look at this. If this does fail, this is another area where it's probably going to bounce, right? I'm hoping it doesn't get all the way down there, but it could. If it does, if I get a new signal, I'll go long again if I get stepped out. So long in gold, crude. I'll go back first since it's in my face. And you see, look at this. I mean, again, you're not trading this in a vacuum, but the minute this blue pulled away, hold, tried to pull above, best setup that I've seen, couldn't pull the blue above, gone. But I don't want to be short crude based on what we talked about earlier, so I'll just wait for lower. Let's look at the structure quickly. I mean, we could pull back to that. I don't think that'll happen, but we could. I just don't want to go short that market. So I'll look for long setups there. You know how I feel about equities. We're going to zero. Tick, been below zero all morning, making extreme ticks. This isn't even that extreme yet. When we really get going, you're going to start seeing, you know, negative 1100, 1200. This is one thing I need to have up for you guys to learn too. You don't want to be shorting in the hole when the thing's at negative 1000. Let it come back to the zero line or near it, and then you put your position on it. That's going to save you so many points just waiting for the thing to revert back close to zero instead of shorting in the hole, as they say. I'm going to start bringing that up a little more, especially in NASDAQ, to help us control our, you know, just get better timing on the trades. All right, remember this 50 area in NASDAQ too. That's the first place you should be looking to short this thing. That's the bottom of this value. 56-ish, 55, 56, 58, 60, somewhere in there. If you see a short setup, that's going to be a great risk reward trade. Yes, we're right in the middle of that value area now. So I'm more interested in NASDAQ. I mean, you see we're right in the value where we could pause or stop on this rebound. You see we're right there. It could be the high volume. I mean, the point of control right around the 50s, mid or low 50s. All right, gold's fine so far. If not, we could rip all the way back up to the zone again, which would not surprise anybody, right? And then do that. I don't want to see that. I want to see us kind of hold, get a new setup, and then I'll get back in short. All right, guys, it should be a very, very active day. Might want to cancel my orders here. Just follow your structure, follow your setups that you've learned or know. You'll do fine. And I'll be back. I'll come in intermittently if I see something awesome. If not, I'll be back at 2 p.m. Thanks, guys.